So, the honeymoon is over.
Wah, wah.
We're going to tell you some of our frustrations of living in Ecuador and now Cuenca specifically.
I'm Kate,
I'm Matt.
and we're Flynn's on the Fly.
Flynn's on the Fly.
Woo-woo. Somebody requested that we stop doing that. That's not going to happen. It's kind of our thing, and it's staying in.
Our marketing department and focus group said, keep the
it.
weird hand gesture. So
Cuenca cool, baby. Cuenca cool. So normally we keep it really positive, and we don't really have to try to do that because we really do love living in Cuenca and we love living in Ecuador.
Right.
But we didn't want you to think that it was all fun and games all the time.
or we were full of poop,
Not anymore.
even after last video.
So we decided to share with you our, I guess, 3 top frustrations, just to give you guys a heads up.
Or 4.
Or 4, we might throw in a bonus, a bonus
bonus
frustration.
number. We're not counting.
Because like anywhere, no place is perfect, and anywhere you move or visit is going to have things that you don't necessarily love. So I think our biggest frustrations,
Number
2 of
1.
them- Go for it.
Shopping in the grocery stores and lack of personal space.
Lack of personal space is definitely the thing that gives me the most anxiety when it comes to living in Cuenca. I had the same frustration in the States and the grocery stores there. I always try to go off times. I don't know what it is, but being in small spaces with lots of people just kind of freaks me out a little bit. And it's just multiplied times 10 here because the aisles are narrow. There's more stuff piled in. The aisles go like much taller, and people just don't seem to pay any attention. Like
No.
they're gonna go where they're gonna go, and if you're in their way or you're in their way, it's not of any consequence to them.
It's like senior day, only 10
Unavoidable.
times worse.
And you can't, so the grocery stores, they open at like 9 and they close at 7, so you can't go in at like 10 o'clock at night or 6 o'clock in the morning. And even in Corral, one of the main grocery stores here, we went in on a Saturday morning and they're stocking the shelves at like 10 a.m. The place is packed and they have pallets out, and it was just insanity. And we understand that this is just a cultural change, and we're the ones who need to adjust. We're just sharing with you that is definitely a source of frustration.
Right. And then there's the whole shopping cart thing.
Yeah, the grocery stores are just set up very differently here. We didn't live in a densely populated part of the United States, so maybe in New York City, maybe it's kind of the same thing. You don't have big parking lots, so the grocery cart can't go through the aisle, the checkout lane with you. So people unload and then they just leave their carts there, and then somebody else comes through. And
they dump their cart back in the way of where everybody else is trying to walk through or file through or get to other aisles.
But that's just, it won't go through. So what are you going to do? You leave it there, and then one of the store employees collects it and brings it back.
Yeah.
They also don't have holders for the bags, so it's just like a stack of bags laying there, and they're picking them up one at a time and then aggressively filling them with your chips and breaking them all.
We do, however, bring our own reusable bags most of the time.
And when you do that, then you can bag your own groceries, so you get to kind of decide.
Which they probably like us doing anyway. They're like, just do it yourself, buddy.
We don't know.
Lady.
But the busy streets in El Centro are kind of like the same thing. People just come out of stores, and if they're turning right, if they're coming out of a store and going to the right, they're not looking left at all. So you might be coming at a pretty good clip, and they'll just walk right. They're just there. They're going where they're going, and we just have to accept that and deal with it.
And I've heard it's called, we're used to personal space like at arm's reach out. And somebody told me that here it's at elbow is where the personal space ends.
I
think it can be even a little tighter than that, but it's different. It's just something to know. It's a frustration that we have, and we know it's just part of it. But
so if you know what to expect, maybe your transition will be easier. Maybe you don't care about personal space, and you're
not
like,
worried
not
about
a problem.
It. Yep. What about the buses almost running us over when we have the green crosswalk?
Man, he's just throwing curveballs left and right here. Yeah, the traffic is the same. It's the same in the car as it is as a pedestrian. They're gonna, if they perceive that, like, they're just gonna go, and you have to stay out of their way.
Yeah. When you're a pedestrian walking, even in a crosswalk with a green arrow, you still have to watch out for everybody trying to run your ass over.
Especially the bus.
The bus will run your ass over.
Yeah.
For sure.
But even like now that we've been riding our e-bikes more around Cuenca, I see some of the frustration that the cars have because pedestrians don't pay attention. They just don't.
Well, we have an easier time with our bikes or with our scooter on the road in traffic than we do actually getting on and off the sidewalk. So just something to know.
So the other frustration that's kind of around shopping is there's no like one-stop shop.
No one-stop shop.
You might have a list of 10 things. You might have to go to 3 or 4 or 5 different stores, and people will say, "Oh yeah, I saw it there at this store," and you go to that store and it's not there.
Or people tell you can buy it on Facebook Marketplace. You can't buy anything on Facebook. We can't buy anything on Facebook Marketplace.
I haven't tried, but I've heard him lament the difficulties of that process.
We've tried repeatedly to buy things on Facebook Marketplace, and not one thing has been actually bought on Facebook Marketplace.
It's just like people.
It's a frustration.
Selling this stuff, they don't respond for whatever reason, or if they do, it's like 2 weeks later, and you say you want a brown round one, and they say we have this green square one, and
they'll respond and say, "Don't have any more."
Right, don't have any more. But then you'll see the ad the same, the next day.
So I don't know.
Yeah, so
it's
that's
frustrating.
a little frustrating when you're used to Amazon delivery or going to Costco or whatever. It's just a part of the transition to say, okay. You can't do it that way. And a lot of what you find, you were saying earlier.
Yeah, some of the quality of the merchandise that you can find. Mostly this deals with like kitchen goods and those types of things. So like spatulas and, knives and just kind of
sheets, household goods.
Yeah, there's certain things that they don't make here that they import, and the import quality is not always the best. So it's hard to find things that are quality because it seems to be the buyers here are focusing more on economy and the best price than the best quality, whereas I think we're probably might be used to the flip-flop of that,
or at least more to the middle.
And if you couldn't find something in the States, we could get it in 2 days delivered too. So those are just other frustrations to know about because it's going to be different.
For us, we can't be the wonderful little consumers that we desire to be.
It's adding to our growth as minimalists.
Yes. And I will say, I'm sure it's obvious. It's probably a little naive moving here because I thought you hear about people muling stuff in, and I thought, well, I'll just buy what the Ecuadorians buy, not realizing that Ecuador is the size of Colorado, so it's not like they have that many factories and make locally all the stuff that you would want. And then I get here and I realize they either just don't buy it or. Most of the Cuencanas mule stuff in. Like, they buy stuff from the States and have it shipped here, too. So I was like, that was probably a pretty stupid thought that I had, but I was ready to support the local economy and get on board.
Let's talk about the cheese.
Cheese, yeah.
Cheese, yes, cheese.
Cheese making is not the art that it is in, say, Europe or Wisconsin.
Any type of good aged sharp cheddar type cheese here is impossible.
And it seems like the art of cheese making is becoming more popular as Europeans come in and share their traditions.
There's soft cheeses here, there's Goudas, there's some sort of Swisses, there's some
really good. Chan has really good Swiss cheese.
Yeah.
And there are specialty stores.
And there's good yogurts
popping up, all over the place that we haven't been. So if you live here and you're like, oh my gosh, I know where to get the best cheese, especially like Gouda or sharp cheddar,
cut it up and send it to us.
No. Or just let us know in the comments. Either way.
Right. What else?
Hot water.
So there's great water pressure, but when you're in the shower, because of the type of instant hot water heaters that are used, that temperature fluctuates quite a lot. So you can feel like you're burning, or you can feel like you're freezing.
Mostly burning here in this apartment. And we've been with, this is not the only place we've showered.
Right.
Like, we've done some traveling around Ecuador. We've showered in a lot of different places.
And you can micro adjust the knobs and, pray the right direction, but no matter what,
You're just
once
hopping
that-
in and out.
Yeah, once that heat kicks on, the hot water really kicks on, it's gonna burn your ass.
Right.
So
So move fast. Keep
Right.
you awake. Keep you on your
Or-
toes in the shower.
be used to cold showers. You'll be fine.
And again, like we get it. We're being pretty nitpicky with that one. Not the worst thing in the
We're
world.
trying to find
take
things to be frustrated with.
Yeah.
too. So, because we're really
Sensational
damn grateful.
video coming up. We're so frustrated.
Yeah, frustration.
Really, we're pretty happy though. So those are just the minor hiccups that we are getting used to. Is there anything else we're super frustrated about?
I'm really frustrated. There's only one sunset every day because it's so beautiful. So that's our top.
Yeah.
I don't know.
Top frustrations regarding
3,
life
4,
in
or
Ecuador.
5 frustrations. So
As
give
you
it
can
what you
see,
want.
they're pretty minor.
Yep. And we're grateful. We're grateful for every day. Grateful to be able to live in Cuenca, Ecuador. Grateful that we've made it this far.
Peace from Cuenca.
If you haven't subscribed, please hit that subscribe button down below. We need you. You need our philosophy. Let's make this work.
Philosophy.
Flynn
We got
philosophy.
you.
Let's bridge that gap.
Boom.
Let's come together.
Let's live in harmony.
Yes. Subscribe, comment, like, and ring the bell. Why not? Who doesn't like a bell?
True. That's a good point. That's all we got.